So, good morning, everybody. Namaste. Good morning. So, today, or what I'm going to take you through is what we've been doing in the back care course. So, some of you are going to love this. It's just really fairly gentle. Just going to take you through the movements that if you did this regularly, you'll be really looking after your back. And probably the biggest message about looking after your back, even if you have pathology, even if you have degeneration, is use it or lose it. So if you're having back pain or have things going on and it's causing you to protect yourself, to not move, that's really the worst thing you can do. But of course, you need to do it mindfully, you need to do it compassionately. And so this class is exactly that. So, as usual, the caveat is no pain, no pain. So, you're really looking after you, and everything that I do is really a suggestion. So, let's get ourselves centered before we begin. So, have a look around the room and just notice where you are in your space, colors and textures. Let the sense of sight bring you into this present moment. And then take a deep breath in and bring the arms up with you, up to the sky. And breathe out and start to listen to what's here around you. Hearing the sounds of this day. And then take a deep breath in and take the arms to the sky, stretch upward and open wide. And then tuning in with one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart, and just feeling your breath. And a really good way to use the breath to center and bring some ease, some awareness and ease, is to have equal ratio breath, samavriti, as you come into your practice. So I invite you to breathe in for 5 and out for 5. And I'm purposely not counting that for you because it needs to be comfortable for you, whatever pace you set. But the equal ratio of it, the samavriti part of it, is what balances awareness and ease. And so as you breathe, I'll read you our focus for today, for this week, really, with all our practices. Those of you that were in the back care class with me last night enjoyed this quote from Rachel Naomi Remen. She says, until we stop ourselves, or more often have been stopped, we hope to put certain of life's events behind us and get on with our living. After we stop, we see that certain of life's issues will be with us for as long as we live. We will pass through them again and again, each time with a new story, each time with a greater understanding, until these events become indistinguishable from our blessings and our wisdom. It's the way life teaches us how to live. And so for you today, in this space you've set aside on your mat, perhaps contemplating the life events that have happened, the life events that are happening now, how do you choose to be? Set an intention and bring that with you onto your mat. How do I choose to be? Whatever life brings, whatever life has brought, and knowing that life will bring plenty in the future as well. And choosing your approach, your level of presence with life. Affirm that to yourself. And then breathing in, taking the arms overhead, big stretch upward. Breathing out, open the arms around you. And then coming to standing, let's get activated. I did check this, so hopefully it's going to work. Start, give a little tap and a shake to your leg. Shake through the hands. Feel the earth beneath you. And then roll that into your shoulders. Start to step a bit wider. And take one arm up and one arm down. And tap your feet towards the front now as you do that. We're waking up our brains as well, a little bit of coordination. Other side. Beautiful. Step wider. Take the arms high. Really stretch through the ribs. Wake up your ribs and across your body. Doesn't that feel good? Get the spine twisting as we wake up. And down towards your knees. Legs are even wider. But keep that twist. And down to the ground if you can, or stay at the knees. Might have to take the legs wider to do that. And then back up to the knees. And across the body to the heart. Lovely. And legs a bit closer together. You're going to make figure 8 with your hips. And this is a really good movement. We'll explore this a bit with a back care course for your low back to loosen it up throughout the day. So if you've been sitting for a while, starting to feel stiff, a really good thing to do. Another one is to scoop with the hands. Feel how that pushes that hip out. Loosens into your hips. So again, sitting at the computer, driving, take a break and stand and do something like this. Whew. Give everything a little shake and then come into Tadasana. Sorry, I'll just turn that off. Beautiful. And standing in Tadasana, feel the ground beneath your feet. Feel the spine rising to the sky. Spread your toes wide and just grip the earth for a moment. Feel really present to your feet and then soften the knees. And breathe in. Take the left arm high and stretch over to the right. Breathe in, right arm high. Stretch to the left. And you'll notice that my hips aren't really moving. From the hips down, everything's stable. So the movement is this lovely opening from the hip, the ribs lifting off the hips, and I'm staying in one plane. So I'm not letting my body twist as I do this. So there's this lovely opening. One more each side. And notice that there's no crunching of the ribs on the lower side. So you want to keep those open as well. And then arms come down and lift to the sky, up onto your toes. If you need to do ballerina steps, that's totally okay. Breathe in and breathe out, soften down. So you'll notice we're coming into, for those of you who are doing Drew Yoga for a while, this is energy block release 1, EBR 1. Breathe out. It's such a powerful sequence. We're not going to do all of it, but it's a beautiful warm up for the spine. And breathe out. Hands float down. Take them out to the side. Squeeze your elbows together behind and breathe out. This is your chance to let go. There's something that you woke up with that you're still taking into your day. And you think, am I still carrying that around with me? Let it go. Maybe it's a worry or anxiety about the future. Maybe it's a relationship, conversation. And I'm down. And then open the heart, roll the shoulders back. And then bring the backs of the hands together and really lift the back. So open the heart, squeeze behind the shoulder blades, and then really lift behind the heart and tuck the chin. So try to get as much movement out of this as you can. Let it be really juicy, savor it. Feel the movement of the spine, the activation of the shoulders and around the heart. Oh, it's such a beautiful movement. One more. And out. And then give the body a little shake. If you want to do figure eights, you could. And then lift the hands up at shoulder height as if you're hugging a tree. Press down your big and little toes evenly and soften the knees. Breathe in. Breathe out. Knees are soft as you look behind you, come into a twist. Breathe in. It's as if you're floating up, a little bit of straightening, and then sinking back down for the twist. Breathe in, rise. Breathe out, sink and twist. So feel how your knees kind of move with you, but keeping the big and little toes active, just a bit active, sort of helps stabilize the knees so they're not flopping in on each other, getting weak in this movement. Keeps your inner thighs activated. Now let's step with that lead foot and let the back heel come off. The arms are doing the same thing. Breathe into center, step with the leading foot, let the back heel come off. You can feel you can get more movement through the twist when you let the legs come with you in this way. So the more you do this, you'll realize that first twist was very much through the upper back and thoracic spine. Now we're starting to get lower down the spine and start to access that lower back a little bit more. Let's do one more. And then come back to center. Let the arms float down and support your low back. So put your hands on your low back. Stick your bottom out, tuck it under, stick it out. Notice you've got a choice where you're going to hold it, and you're going to come to a neutral position here. So neither duck butt or scared dog butt, neutral here. Support the kidneys, squeeze the elbows together, and lift your heart. Breathe in. Breathe out, let the hands come down the legs into a forward fold. The knees can still be soft. We're still warming up. Actually, any time of day, the knees can be soft. And then breathe in. Bring your hands to your knees, push into your knees and rise with a flat back. And then take the arms to the sky. So that's one way to rise if you're protecting your back because you have some back pain. So now you can rise with that flat back. Let's do it with some segmental mobility now. So squeeze the elbows together, soften the knees, breathe in, lift the heart. Remember, this isn't a back bend, it's a heart lift. And then breathe out, come into your forward fold. And we're going to experiment with a different way of coming up. So now uncurl your spine one vertebra at a time from the base to the top. So the shoulders stay rounded, the chin stays down, until you finally blossom and uncurl and then take the arms high. So you've got those two ways to rise, and it really depends on your back. So you use the flat back method, breathe in and lift. If you're protecting, which is totally fine, and use this, what I would call segmental mobility, that uncurling. Or I know Deirdre Shannon, the physio, said, oh, that's rising like a yogi, if your back is okay with it. And it's an important movement to be able to do. So let's do that one more time. And so again, there's no right or wrong. There's just looking after your own back. Breathe out. And one more time. Your choice of how to rise. And this time as we come into forward fold, you're going to bend the knees and instead come down into a squat. Take the arms forward, squat as far as it's comfortable for you, and then breathe and rise up. We could use that same movement of either uncurling or rising flat back with our squat. Maybe you can go a bit deeper with your squat now. Rise up. To go deeper, you might need to take the legs wider. It's completely up to you how deeply you squat here. And rise. Squatting so important for our health, for the back, the hips, the knees, the ankles, but you're going as far as it's right for you. One more. But ideally, you're finding some space, even if it's supported with a chair, to squat every day. And breathe out open. Give everything a little shake. Bring your weight over to the right. Turn that left knee out to the side. We're coming into tree. We need to balance every day as well. So either keep your toes there or hover them or bring them to your calf or tuck them in at your thigh. Doesn't really matter as long as the weight's all over to your right side. And then squeeze that right glute. Make sure the spine is lifting to the sky. And then breathe in and take the arms high. Breathe out. Feel like you're drawing that intention. Remember, you set an intention for your practice down into your heart. Turn the palms to face forward, breathing in. Breathing out. The hands come forward. Breathe in, open wide. Stay here. Let the hands come down. Let's come through it again. Breathe in. Lengthen to the sky. Draw on everything around you to bring that intention and to live it today. Bring it into your heart. Turn your fingertips forward as you breathe in. It's like focusing your heart power. And then take your fingertips forward, your hands forward, arms forward into the day. And then with that intention, you open wide to whatever life brings. And then with control, hands and foot comes back down, beautifully balanced. And feel the earth beneath you. Set your right leg now. So weights on the left, you're not locking that knee, either fingertips, toes on the floor, or hovering, or on the shin, or on your thigh. Where you don't want them is on your knee. Squeeze that left glute, lengthen through the spine, stand tall and proud and dignified. You are the tree in the midst of life, breathing in. And whatever winds blow down to the heart, you stand strongly grounded, rooted, stable. Breathe in, fingertips forward. Breathe out, hands come forward. Breathe in, open wide. Breathe out, hands float down, leg stays where it is. Feel how beautifully balanced you can be and feel all the muscles working to support you here. Breathe in, arms overhead. Reach for that intention, your highest today. Breathe out, feel yourself centering it in your heart. Focus that fingertips forward, breathing in. And then use that to slice through all the challenges today and remain open-hearted as life teaches you how to live. And then breathe out, arms and legs float down with control. Arms overhead one last time. And breathing out, forward folding, and then little squat, and then down onto your mat. So let's meet on our backs with the knees bent. And flatten your low back. Bring your hands to your lower abdomen so you can feel what happens there. That's lower abdominals engaged. And then press the low back away. So arch it away from the mat. Flatten it. Arch it away. Flatten it. And then holding it nice and firm there, flattened. And then just take a little bit of pressure off. So there's just a little bit of space between your low back and the floor. Feel there's a little bit of engagement with your lower abdominals. And then start to straighten that right leg along the floor, hovering it there. And then breathing in, bring it back to center. Breathing out, settle back into place. Make sure your low back feels supported. Just there's awareness there of how you hold your low back. And then lengthen that left leg slowly, slowly. Let it hover just a couple of centimeters, not too high. And then breathe in, bring it back. Breathe out, relax everything. So keep going in this way. So lengthening, hovering, hold for a moment, and then coming back to start. And the whole time, the point is to focus on your hips, your low back. If you need more support there, then flatten your low back into the floor. If you feel steady, then try to have a little bit of space between your low back and the floor. That will keep a neutral spine. And if both of these are too strong with the leg straight, then instead of straightening the leg, just lift your bent knee up and down, lifting the foot off the floor. All of these will gain core strength if you're doing them slowly. So let's do another couple of rounds. You could even use your 5-5 breath. And the leg only moves when your breath draws it in or lengthens it, either with your exhalation or your inhalation. Align it with your breath so it's slow. Beautiful. And now bring your left knee into your chest. Bring your knee up. Give yourself a little stretch. And then breathe out. Relax the upper body. Straighten that right leg along the floor. Lengthen through the heel. Really press through the heel. Stretch that leg as long as you can. And then relax it there. If there's any pulling on your low back, then bend the knee just enough to take that pulling out of the low back. And then we're going to do 3 rounds of deep abdominal breathing here. So in for 5 and feel the belly expand as you breathe in. Out for 5 and feel the belly relax as you breathe out. So we're really working with these deep hip flexors on that right side. And you need to give them time to release and let go. So picture all that we do where we're sitting and you're in that L shape with your torso and your thighs. All of that's shortening your hip flexors, and you're also cutting off the blood supply to your butt. So there's a lot not good about doing that when we don't relieve it and reverse it. And then bring both knees into the chest and roll them around and find a sweet spot on your back or on your glutes and give them a massage. So with your knees further away, you'd be massaging more down into the glutes and around the sacrum. With the knees pulled more into your chest, you'd be massaging more into your low back. Find a little sweet spot, even if it means turning a little bit more to one side or the other, and massage in, give some love. And then keeping your right leg tucked in, extend that left leg long, really extend through the heel, stretch through, stretch through. Oh, we didn't do knee to nose. So nose up to the knee, just lengthen the spine and then settle back down. And then same thing, we want to give this hip flexor time to release and lengthen. So 3 rounds of deep abdominal breathing, in for 5, all the way to the base of the belly. And counting 5, feel that belly release, relax. Maybe feel the shoulders soften, the face softens. We're just letting gravity do its work and lengthening through this left hip flexor. You can do so much good with so much ease here. And then breathing in, bring the knees in together again. And then roll yourself onto your side and then onto your belly. So we've got a little bit of back bending here. So on your belly, just notice first if this is pinching your back. If it is, you may like to put a low cushion or a blanket I'm putting underneath that takes some of that back bend out. But if you don't need it, it's a good thing to get that back bend in. So lengthen through your fingertips, lengthen through your toes, have a big stretch along your spine. And then bring the hands either side of your eyes and press into your palms so you're in Sphinx position now. So check that your elbows are close in directly underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Extend through your right leg. Extend through your left leg. Then relax them and give a little shake to your bottom side to side to relax your back, your legs. And then roll the shoulders back and around. So feel that you've got options here of where your shoulders sit. And then squeeze the shoulder blades together and keep those shoulders back so the heart is coming forward. And then press into your elbows and try to make your spine longer. So there's a lot of effort going on in your upper body, but your back is relaxed. And then tuck your chin into your throat and lengthen long. So if there's pinching in your back, you're either going to put a cushion underneath your belly, or you're going to bring your arms forward a bit more to take some of that back bend out of it. So you're choosing. Pinching is not a good thing. Lengthening, feeling that is what we're looking for. So you choose your position, and we're loosening the neck while we're here as well. Beautiful. And up. And then bring your hands under your shoulders and rise up into cat position. So breathing in, dip your low back, lift your heart, look forward. Breathing out, tuck your low back under, and eventually the chin drops. So keep going in this way, moving between arching and rounding, and see if you can get the movement to start every time at your low back and radiate up like a wave up your spine until the crown of the head, or maybe it's the chin you think about more, that lifts. So bottom moves first, head moves last with each movement, and it's aligned with the breath. So the out breath as you tuck everything under, the in breath as everything opens. Lovely. And then let's come back down onto our bellies. Do a little bit more work here. We need to work with our glutes now. So you can either be completely lying down, relaxed in Makarasana, or you can stay in Sphinx. It's up to you. And you're going to tuck your right toes under and then straighten that leg, lift the knee. So you're activating that right leg. Feel that right glute engage. So you should be feeling this nice and firm, and let your left glute relax. It's important to be able to differentiate. And then either staying here if this is enough effort. For some of you, this will be enough. You haven't been activating those glutes lately. Or you're going to lift from the glute, lift that leg, and there should be a lot of effort in doing that. So you may decide you want to come down a bit lower to get that leverage, or you can stay in Sphinx, that makes it harder. But wherever you are, little tiny pulses to the sky, and then just check in on that left glute. Even go around and give it a little shake and a tap. Make sure it's relaxed, but right glute should be nice and rock hard. Our glutes are so important to the health of our low backs. So we've got to make sure we strengthen them here. If your glutes have switched off, then hamstrings and low back are tightening and causing pain. So last one here, lift that leg as high as you can and then relax it down. Give the low back a little wobble. If you need to come through cat for a second before we go to the other side, then feel free to look after your back in that way. Otherwise, you're going to tuck the left toes under, lift the knee, activate that left glute, and either stay here or lift it up. And then check in on that right glute, give it a tap, make sure it's relaxed. Left glute, give it a feel, yep, nice and hard. And then here you're doing little pulses to the sky if you can, or just keeping it raised. Even having the toes on the mat and just that knee lifted and really gathering in all your muscles is enough to get some activation there. But make sure that right glute's relaxed. So we want to really be able to differentiate between, I'm letting my glutes relax, and this is them switched on. Breathing and releasing. And you might have noticed one side was harder than the other. So hands under the shoulders, come back into child's pose. Lengthen through from fingertips to your bottom. Have a little sway side to side. Enjoy the beautiful lengthening through the spine. And then bring your hands behind and just give a little rub or a tap to your low back. So we're really getting to know, to understand, to nurture. If your back's been giving you pain, sometimes it starts to feel like the enemy. But instead, like in that Rachel Naomi Remen quote, maybe it's just teaching you how to live, telling you to stop and tune in. And it's really normal to have, all of us, to have periods of back pain throughout our lives. And they make us stop and reassess. Notice what we've been doing. Breathing and rising up, and we're going to come over onto our low backs again, or our backs again, not our low backs. So knees are up, squeeze them into the chest, and then have your feet mat width apart on the mat, and start to windscreen wiper your feet, your knees side to side. So just starting to, you can feel that softening into the legs, the hips, the knees, the low back as you do this. You may want to look the opposite way that your knees are going. It gets a bit of ringing action happening through your spine. Lovely. And then bring the knees in higher up to the chest and let them flop over to the left. Now make sure, just have a look at them and make sure that your body and your legs are at a 90-degree angle and your lower legs 90 degrees to that. And you may want a little cushion or something underneath your head. I'm just going to put a low rolled up blanket for me. Your arms are extended at heart level, and you're going to take the hand, the upper hand, the right hand, across the left arm, across your chest, and then uncurl it and extend it and lengthen fingertips to fingertips, and then go back the opposite way until the palms meet again. So that's one way to do this opening, or if that's super comfortable, you could just lift straight up and open. So just two different ways to find that opening, a little bit like the two different ways to uncurl from your forward fold for your back. So you choose which one feels nicer. And then you may want to bring that 5-5 breath into this. So it slows you down, helps you to savor, helps you to really allow this movement. Maybe close your eyes so you're feeling into your body. And the next time you open, stay there. Look towards your right hand if you can. You may need to adjust your head so it's comfortable for your neck. And then stretch through the fingertips. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Breathe into the belly. Enjoy this opening, this ringing feeling. Lovely. And then breathe in. Arm drifts up to the sky and breathing out, coming back so the hands touch. And then bringing your legs through center. Maybe do just a little brief massage somewhere there that feels good. And then rolling over onto your opposite side. I'll turn to face you. So you're on your right side now. Make sure you've got that 90-degree angle with your legs and your upper back, your spine. And then either uncurling, feeling along the right arm as you extend the left, or having the arm straight. Basically, with it straight, you're just adding extra weight. So it's easier. You're not taking any weight away from your body if you drag your hand along the chest and arm. So it's up to you how you do this. And again, you may want some support under the head. We're looking after ourselves. The neck may want some support. Opening and coming back. Lovely. And opening. And this time stay here. Again, lengthen fingertips to fingertips. Squeeze shoulder blades together. You may need to adjust the shoulders to allow that. Look towards your left hand. You may need to adjust where your head is sitting to allow that. And breathe from the crown down to the base of the belly. And just enjoy this beautiful feel as if the spine is breathing and the heart is so open here. Breathing and opening. Lovely. And then breathing in, let that arm come up and then back around. Lovely. And then roll yourself onto your back once again and let your feet come down and walk them in. We're going to come into bridge here. So walk your feet in without grabbing them with your hands, as close as you can get to your bottom. And with your hands just touching the outsides of your legs, make sure your ankles and your bottom are in the same line, which means that your feet are hip width apart. And then press into your feet and heels and lift your bottom just a little bit off the mat and look at your knees and make sure that they're not flopping in or flopping out. You want your inner thighs engaged so your knees stay hip width apart. So inner thighs are another weakness that often accompanies low back pain. So if your knees stay hip width apart this whole time, you know you're engaging your inner thighs to maintain your position. And so relax your back down, everything a little wiggle. Press into your feet, squeeze your glutes, flatten your low back, and then release. Press into your feet, squeeze your glutes, lift your bottom off the mat. Hold here for a second. You can feel everything engaged. And then breathe out, relax. Squeeze, press, flatten, lift now the butt and the low back off the mat. We're doing it slowly, and that's good. You could do it faster, but going slow uses those muscles more. Breathe out, relax down. Press into your feet, squeeze your glutes, round the low back up, come up to the middle back now. Check in on your knees. Are they staying nice and steady? Strong foundations. Hold here for a moment. We're working these glutes again, and this is a really safe back bend. Breathe out, come down. So is Sphinx, as long as you're checking in that there is no pinching. But that's a beauty of bridge as well. Relax everything when you get back to the start. That's important too. This is switched off, and now I'm switching on. Squeeze the glutes, press the heels, flatten the back, lift, come up to heart level now. Draw your hands down towards your feet so that the shoulders are drawing away from your ears, and then relax the hands. Pause at heart level. On your out breath, roll down. So we're getting this same, I was talking about the segmental mobility of rising up from forward fold, vertebra after vertebra. You're getting the same thing in bridge when you place it down vertebra by vertebra and lift vertebra by vertebra. So rise now as high as it's comfortable for you. Tuck your chin a bit. Make sure the back of the neck is long, shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze the glutes. Knees stay hip width apart. Lift, lift. There should be effort. And roll down. We're going to do that 3 more cycles of breath. Use your 5-5 to slow yourself down. Or you can just hold. Once you've risen, hold for 3 breaths. So you decide what's going to work for you today. So we're creating this lovely back bend, this stretch and flexion through the neck, which is controlled by you because you're choosing how high you come up. And we're working those inner thighs. There should be effort here. And our segmental mobility of peeling the spine, vertebra by vertebra off the mat and vertebra by vertebra back down and flowing down. Beautiful. And then bring your knees into your chest once again. Roll over, back into cat position. And you're going to make this one a bit of a crazy cat, a dancing cat. So take a few breaths and roll the hips around, the head, the shoulders. Move, explore. Find what feels good for you here. Lovely, long cat. Ow, got mosquitoes. Beautiful. And then make yourself long again on your belly. Lengthen through your fingertips, through your toes. And we're going to come into a full locust now. So we've been kind of playing with half locust. If this is going to be too strong, just so you know, then you could come back to your Sphinx if you like. So what we're going to do is squeeze the ankles together and lift the legs. Look down at the mat. Lift the arms and lengthen through the fingertips. So we're in locust pose here. You can feel the whole back of the body engaged. You're squeezing your ankles together. Breathing and feeling the belly filling with each breath. So it's like you're riding waves and you're a boat. You're looking down at the mat, so the back of the neck is long, so the neck isn't strained. Check in on your ankles. Are your feet touching? That's your inner thighs engaging. And then lift a bit higher and come down. Well done. Hands under the shoulders. Back into your child's pose. Lengthen through and sway side to side. Oh, some beautiful work on the spine. And we've just got two more postures we're going to do. One to strengthen, we'll do that now. And one, another beautiful twist to release. And so last time, coming down onto your belly. Now we're going to make this into a cobra. So the hands are underneath the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back. Keep the elbows tucked into your side and imagine that somebody has hold of your elbow creases and they're drawing your elbows down towards your feet, and feel how that opens the shoulders and really activates the shoulders. Then you're going to press into your hands and just do a little baby lift. So your belly button stays on the mat. That's a lot harder than just throwing yourself up and resting into your hands. So breathe in to lift. Breathe out to flow down. Probably like I've been doing, you've lifted your chin. So keep it tucked in a bit so the back of the neck is long. And we're just doing these lovely, almost pulses upward with the in-breath and softening with the out-breath. Pulsing upward and softening. One more. This is Cobra. And down. And then roll yourself over to your right side. Bring your knees up again so you're in 90 degrees. Support your head if you like. And this time you're going to take your fingertips of your left hand and run them along the floor above your head, around as if you're painting a circle around yourself. And then down and over your legs and back to the start. So the in-breath, trail your fingers overhead and around, and the out-breath down and back to the start. Keep flowing in that way with your breath. And if you like to change things up, and you'll feel the difference if you experiment, you can straighten that lower leg. So just the top leg, the left leg, is bent still at 90 degrees. And the right leg is extended straight along the mat. Last one. And as you open, you may like your head to follow your arm. That creates that ringing action in the spine. And back to center. And then bending both knees, coming through center, and we'll bring that over onto your left side. So legs bent. You now know you have that option to have your left leg straight, so you could take it now if you like. And then trail your fingertips overhead with your in-breath. Trail your fingertips to the bottom of the circle with your out-breath. Doesn't that feel nice? And it feels kind of luxurious, I feel, with you've got your fingertips trailing along the floor. It's like trailing them through warm sand. There's something about trailing your fingertips through anything, isn't there? Whether it's your hair, sand, this movement, Makes it feel kind of sensuous and beautiful and really connecting to this moment, to your body, to this space around you. So one more round and out. And then roll yourself onto your back. Last time, knees into chest. If it feels good, bring your nose up to your knees. Squeeze, squeeze everything. And then come down, bring the feet onto the mat. Just let things settle for a second. And then we're going to come into Shavasana for our deep relaxation. So you have the choice to just come into full Shavasana with the legs extended, or to put cushions underneath your knees, or if you have a chair close by, grab it. So if the knees are up, legs are up on the chair, that to me is like full restorative. I mean, it is actually restorative Shavasana, where all the fluid from your legs, especially, this is especially good later in the day, flows down the legs and gets processed better by your lymphatics and creates more of a sense of ease. So if I have the opportunity, I'll use the chair. But if it feels good for you, lengthening it along the ground, that's also a master pose. We're in Shavasana. This is master pose. And so take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, soften and relax through the whole of the body. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out and let it be a cleansing breath. Deep breath in. And soften and find ease with the out breath. And as you continue to let the breath flow naturally now, really align your awareness with your out breath. Your out breath is your natural phase of letting go, where your body just naturally, easily, involuntarily lets go of the breath. And we can align our own self, our own intention with that letting go, that ease of letting go. Because let's face it, once the day starts and we're caught up in our day, there's so much taking on busyness, getting consumed by thoughts, taking on worries, taking on other people's stuff, taking more onto our agenda. We seem to keep adding things to the load that we carry around with us into our backpacks. And so, how luxurious is it to take these moments and to align with a sense of letting go? Focusing on feet and toes, letting go. And more deeply again, is there any holding here that I can invite to soften? And then calf muscles, breathing out through the calf muscles. And then again, asking the question more deeply. Is there any more I can soften and release? Often that first offering of release is kind of like the body goes, oh yeah, whatever, I'm right. I'm not holding anything. But then if you ask again, there's a deeper awareness. And then up to the thighs. Ask the question twice. The first breath, offering the letting go. The second breath, going deeper. It's like when you see a friend and you go, how are you? Like, yeah, I'm fine. It's that initial, yeah, whatever. And then you go, no, how are you really? And then you start getting to the truth. And so then going up to your glutes, first breath, softening, awareness. Second breath, going deeper. Up to your low back and middle back. Each out breath is the invitation. The second out breath is asking again, going deeper. And then middle back to upper back and shoulders. So easy to gather tension in here. Ask a third time here because this is a really important part of the body. Shoulders, heart area, where we instinctively move into protection and holding on when life gets hard. And then the belly. So connected to the breath, to the diaphragm. And again, another area when we get stressed, when things get busy, it's our breath that so often immediately becomes more shallow, becomes more restricted, and we don't even notice it's happening. And so when you ask and ask again, and bring ease, what can I let go of here at the belly? Is there any tension here I can soften through? Sometimes you'll be surprised by how much holding was happening there. And as soon as you start that breath flowing again, prana flows, life energy flows, more vitality flows. And then the arms, shoulders, upper arms, forearms. Each out breath, waves of peace. And then going deeper. So anything, any tension, little hidden pockets that are ready to release, to be found, to be seen. Hands and fingers. Maybe the imagery of just melting, of sighing, is what will unlock that door and allow freedom in your body. And then up to the neck and throat. Again, a place to feel where the breath might get constricted. And see if you can invite openness. And then up into the head and the face. Checking around the brow. Offering ease, offering softness. All is well in this moment. Maybe not this moment out there. Maybe part of you is going, no, it's not. All this is happening in life. But in this moment, right now on your mat, just you and this space you've created for yourself. Soft around the eyes and the backs of the eyes, around the jaw and the mouth. Breath in the belly, and the whole body melting into this moment. Giving up any resistance in this moment. Breathing and knowing that you're breathing. And feeling that the whole of your body is beginning to integrate and absorb all the goodness of your practice today. With every conscious breath you take, every moment of stillness that you savor, integration is happening. Every cell, every tissue, every muscle, every joint, realigning at a higher level of well-being, of ease, a remembering of how good it is to be alive and be in this body. And I'll read you once again these beautiful words from Rachel Naomi Remen. And as I read them, just think about the challenges that have been here in your life or may even be here now. She says, until we stop ourselves, or more often have been stopped, we hope to put certain of life's events behind us and get on with our living. After we stop, we see that certain of life's issues will be with us for as long as we live. We will pass through them again and again, each time with a new story, each time with a greater understanding, until these life issues become indistinguishable from our blessings and our wisdom. It's the way life teaches us how to live. I'll read that last bit again. We will pass through them again and again, each time with a new story, each time with a greater understanding, until these life issues become indistinguishable from our blessings and our wisdom. It's the way life teaches us how to live. And so I invite you now to remember your intention you set. Is this the intention that you'll take with you off your mat? Or maybe there's a new intention that's arisen from the presence in this moment in your practice. But reaffirm what you'll take with you, how you choose to be, whatever happens today. And who knows what will happen? We can only speculate. And look within yourself, what will that be like as I take this intention and remember it? What will be my words, my tone of voice, the look on my face, the way I stand, the way I move as I embody this intention, staying present moment by moment. And imagine a challenge that might occur today. How will I meet this challenge when I remember to be present and I remember my intention? And then taking a deep breath in and out. And I invite you to finish your practice where you began, sitting in a posture of dignity, spine tall, body grounded, feeling the earth beneath you. One hand at your heart and one at your belly. And we'll seal our practice with 3 Oms. Breathing in deeply, feel the belly expand with the in-breath. Om. Om. The highest within me sees and greets the highest within all of you and within all beings today as we bow to each other and say Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that class and your back feels good. And I look forward to seeing you again. If you have